All right, so this is how you make the automation that will scrape any account's content, get the transcript, and then rewrite the transcript in your own desired tone and for your brand and upload all that information into Notion. Um, Basically, the final output looks like this. So, bunch of different people with their their caption, the summary of the video, the likes, the comments, the views, the length of the video. So this one's 7 seconds, and then the transcript, um, and then also the URL of the original piece. And then once that happens, it actually goes to another database where it rewrites the whole script. Okay, so this is like just speeds up the whole process for a social media team by like 10x, if not 50x. And so if you don't have this, you definitely need to set this up because it's just going to go by so much faster, be so much more efficient, and then you can toggle the different databases by and rank them by whatever has the most likes or views, etc. And it just makes the whole process a lot more streamlined. And then once you have those scripts, you can just rip them out like 20 pieces in an hour, and then you just run them as trial reels. If none of them work, then something was fucked up. But if a few do work, which is more likely, then you just post them to your feed. And that way you can produce a bunch of content and not have to spam your followers. But so this is how you trigger it. So you'll go to Slack, you'll go to Cosmin Research. Once you do that, it'll send you this form. The form you fill out with the Instagram handle that you want to scrape, how many reels you want to scrape, select the account this is for. You can probably get rid of this if you're just setting it up for you, because you won't have multiple accounts. But if you do have clients, if you do offer social media services, then you can have this for all your different clients. And then you can put a desired tone. So from there, once you fill out that form, it triggers this section of the automation. Super simple. Basically, just put a form title. You don't need a form description. Field name, Instagram handle, and number of reels you want to scrape. This is the part that you can't skip. This is the questions that need to be there, so make them required fields. And then what account is this for is optional depending on your use case, and desired tone is also optional. Yeah, and then from there, this is actually not needed. This node is not needed unless you have it going to multiple accounts, because you'll have this. Let me show you. So this is what it looks like when you have multiple clients in the same workflow. So on form submission, it goes, so for this, it's me. If it's me, then it goes through this process. And the reason why this is important isn't because of the system prompts or because of the agents, but because of the Notion. So it puts it into a specific Notion. That's why this if node is essential if you have multiple routes. If you don't, then you can just get rid of that entirely. The HTTP request. So this is when it starts getting a little more technical. You're going to go to Appify, log in. You're going to see this. So Instagram Reel Downloader. Find this in Appify. You're going to paste the URL. So to do that, you go to API clients, go to API endpoints, and then you copy these. You'd copy run actor synchronously. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And get dataset items, and then you'll paste that into here. Authentication none, send headers, content type, application JSON, This is what you put in the headers section, and then in the body section have this. And those, so pause this here. These are organically getting fed from the last node. So make sure you execute the previous nodes, and then basically you'll see them pop up here, and then you'll just drag them in. And by the way, if you join the WOP, you'll have access to the template, and so you won't have to do any of this work besides updating and giving permissions to OpenAI and Notion and Apify too. From there, it'll download each video file. So if you selected 10 reels, it'll download 10 reels and then get Whisper to transcribe it. From there, the transcript goes to the first agent. This agent basically just extracts the summary and 3 to 5 key points, even though this isn't needed. It's not even used. And then from there, it filters out any that are empty. So if you don't have this, it'll break if those things are empty. So you want to keep running them through the ones that aren't empty, and then have a Notion database. For the Notion database, you'll just set up something like this, where it's the topic. You can title it whatever, but the title, and then the transcript inside the database page. Likes, comments, views, URL, caption, video length, and summary. That's what I did. You don't have to follow it to a T, and then the account is pretty important though. Yeah, so the title will be the topic generated from the previous AI agent node. The account is dragged from the on-form submission node. The HTTP request, so the caption is also pulled from when we send it to Apify. Comments also from Apify. Number of likes, Apify. Views from Apify. And then the URL is also from the Apify. And then video length, you can pull this from Apify or OpenAI. This is set to OpenAI at the moment. And then, yeah, it's super simple. Like if you join the WOP, you'll just get the whole template, and then you can import it and just update the permissions. To update it, you basically would just press create new credential, and then you'd go to Notion. Search up Notion API. Go to View Integrations. You'd press a new integration. You'd select the workspace, internal, save, create a name. And then you'd configure your integration settings. So you would show, and then you'd copy, and then you'd just paste it into, oh my God. And then you just press new credentials, and you'd paste it here. That's it for the Notion part. You can also use Airtable, or you can use spreadsheets. It's a similar process. For spreadsheets, it's just, you basically just have to log in with Google. From there, now we send it to the agent that actually rewrites the transcript into whatever desired tone, or just basically the way we have it prompted right now is that it rewrites the script exactly how it is, and it doesn't alter it too much unless you put in desired tone. But I think it's fine. It works out. It depends on how original you want to be, but if you do want to be super original, then you probably wouldn't be interested into this video, or you'd at least be scripting it all yourself. And you could even just copy and paste the transcripts, do it manually kind of through ChatGPT. But this is just the most efficient way to get new scripts. This is the prompt, the user prompt, and then you'll add an option and you'll press system prompt, and then you'll get this, and then you'll paste this system prompt in. Again, all of these system and user prompts are in the file that's in the WAP, and so if you download the file, you can just go import from file, and it's super simple. Basically, from there, it'll generate all those new scripts and then add it to that Notion where we have original content. So this one's just called Agent Content Database. But yeah, as you can see, it'll rewrite all of those scripts and organize it by hook, core, CTA, suggested captions, suggested hashtags. The title is pretty complex, so the way, you can just kind of pause it here and copy and paste if you're not going to join the WAP, but the way we have it is it's the username, and then it gives the number of the inspiration. So this links it from that original piece of content that the script was inspired by. And currently this is broken because I don't have it set up. If this is the case, if this is happening to you, it's really annoying. I've had it happen to me like every time when I'm trying to duplicate and create a new workflow with a similar system. Unfortunately, the workaround that I've found is just creating a new node. So you'd search Notion, create a database page, and then you'd basically go through all of those steps. So you'd add a property, you get the idea. But whenever I do run into errors, I just go to ChatGPT. There's this custom GPT called N8N Assistant, and I basically just go to it with all my problems. And I've definitely spent a lot of time doing that. But if you're patient enough, if you have a few hours or maybe a couple hours, you'll be able to figure it out. But if you do import the file from the WAP, then most of these problems will be solved. And if you do have problems, you can just ask in the chat and I can try to help and troubleshoot. But first things, like your first go-to should just be going to this ChatGPT assistant, the custom GPT, screenshotting it, uploading, saying help me troubleshoot things step by step. You can even, like, the better you prompt it, the more help you'll get. So screenshot your whole workflow, screenshot what's the error is. If you get an error, you'll be able to ask AI about the error, and then you can copy and paste what it said, and it'll give you instructions. It's one of those things that you definitely have to be patient with, and there's a learning curve too. That's why we set it up for all our clients and we don't have them set it up, because we could create courses, but they'd just be, even if the courses were the best thing in the world, it would take them probably like multiple days to set up all those things that we need them to set up, if not weeks, to be honest. So yeah, that's how you create that automation. If you're new here, subscribe. If this was helpful, like the video. If it wasn't helpful, dislike the video. Tell me to go kill myself in the comments. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Okay, peace.